Every single time a small comment or some minor setback really gets under your skin, you're not just getting annoyed, you're literally giving away your personal power. See, the goal isn't to have fewer problems in life. That's impossible. The goal is to completely master how you react to them.
So, does this sound at all familiar? You're just trying to get through your day, everything's fine, and then bam! One unexpected piece of feedback or some frustrating little delay completely throws you off course. If that hits home, you are definitely not alone. But it's a cycle, and it's one we're going to learn how to break.
And here's the most important part to understand. When you let external events dictate your mood, you basically become a puppet. You're handing over the strings of your own inner peace to whatever's happening around you. So this whole explainer, it's all about how to take that power back, starting right now.
Okay, so our journey has to begin with the foundation, right? And that is mastering your internal state. True, unshakable strength isn't about changing the world around you. It's about forging an unbreakable core inside of you.
So, let's start with this idea of emotional detachment. Now, this is not about becoming cold or robotic or suppressing your feelings. No, it's the total opposite. It's about being so in control that you consciously refuse to hand over your peace of mind to anyone or anything. You can still feel joy, you can still feel sadness, but you remain the one in charge. Your emotions serve you, not the other way around.
And this builds right on top of another key idea, mindful indifference. I want you to think of this as your superpower for getting your focus back. I mean, we live in a world that is just full of noise, right? This is the practice of deciding, consciously, where you are going to invest your limited energy. It's a flat-out refusal to waste your power on things that just don't deserve it.
But here's a super important distinction. Apathy is just checking out. It's caring about nothing, a total refusal to engage. Mindful indifference, though, that's the ultimate form of engagement. It's about caring so deeply about your goals, about your mission, about your peace, that you strategically refuse to waste a single drop of energy on petty dramas or other people's fleeting opinions. So here's a really practical tool you can use today. The next time you feel yourself getting all worked up over something, just pause and ask yourself this one simple question. Think of it like your own personal mental filter. Because honestly, most of what troubles us day to day, a temporary setback, a passing comment, it becomes totally insignificant with time. This question helps you instantly decide if something is actually worth your emotional real estate. All right, now that we've laid down that internal foundation, let's step into the arena where it gets tested the most, our interactions with other people.
This is the absolute core truth when you're dealing with others. Look, criticism is going to happen, but its impact, that's not inevitable. Their words are just noise, just vibrations in the air, until you make the choice to internalize them and give them weight. You are always, always in control of that dial.
So how do you actually do that in the moment? Well, you use a logical filter. Instead of that gut emotional reaction, the first thing you do is pause. Just stop. Then, assess the source. Is this person actually qualified to give this feedback? Do they have your best interests at heart? Then you look for the lesson. Is there a tiny nugget of truth in there that's useful? Take it. And then, and this is the crucial part, you discard the rest. You treat it like data, not like a personal attack. Now, the other side of this coin is constantly seeking approval. And let me tell you, this is a trap. It places your happiness and your sense of worth directly in the hands of other people. It makes you totally dependent on their validation, which is, fundamentally, a really weak position to be in. The only way out of this trap is to start building your own sense of self-worth from the inside out. Your opinion of you has to matter more than anyone else's, period. You have to learn to be your own source of validation. Celebrate your own wins. The moment you stop needing applause from others to feel worthy is the moment you become truly, powerfully free.
Okay, let's take this up a level. Now we're talking about those high-stakes situations. Composure isn't something you're just born with. It's a skill you have to forge through practice. It's about training your mind for the storm long before it ever arrives.
When the pressure is on, there are really only two paths. The weak response is to fight reality, to panic, to complain about how unfair it is. The strong response? That's to accept what's happening, to embrace the uncertainty, and to immediately shift your focus to strategy and execution. It's the huge difference between reacting with emotion and responding with logic.
This always makes me think of a powerful metaphor. A river. A river doesn't fight a giant boulder in its path, right? It just flows around it. It doesn't demand the rocks move. This mindset is all about learning to flow with life, instead of desperately clinging to these rigid expectations of how things should be.
And let me be really clear here. Letting go is not about giving up. It's a strategic reallocation of your energy. You release your death grip on the outcomes you can't control, and you redirect all of that power towards the things you can influence. And you can start small. Let go of the traffic jam. Let go of the spilled coffee. Every time you do that, you're building the mental muscle for the bigger challenges ahead.
All right, now for our final section. And this is maybe the most potent tool in your entire arsenal. It's a move that shows incredible control and strength, but funny enough, it requires no force at all.
Just think for a second about the difference between loud announcements and silent execution. You've seen it. The loudest people are often the weakest because they need to talk about their big plans to feel validated. But real power? It moves in silence. It doesn't need to announce what it's about to do. It just acts, and it lets the results do all the talking.
And silence can be a strategic weapon too. In a negotiation, the person who's comfortable with silence usually wins. In an argument, it robs the other person of the reaction they're desperately trying to get from you. It forces them to reveal their hand while you just sit back, observe, gather information, and maintain complete control. It's the ultimate demonstration of discipline.
So all of this leaves us with one final question for you. In a world that is just obsessed with noise, what's going to speak for you? The words you say or the results you create? The choice, as always, is yours.